One of the very first songs when we commenced rehearsals that we were really excited about was just this song, Our God Reigns. It was such a beautiful depiction of the reign and the rule of God. I mean, you only have to go to the book of Exodus. I think in Exodus 15 it says that the Lord shall reign forever and ever. And this is Moses and the children of Israel singing a song of praises to the Lord after they experienced and witnessed victory over the powers of evil. The people of Israel really surrendered to God because they were there when they witnessed and experienced deliverance. The intentionality behind this song was to originally write a worship type song, which was very simple and a song where the words really depicted the greatness of God and who He is and His sovereignty over my life. And I guess it's always difficult when you have to place words around something that you can't describe. And that's what this song was. I mean, things that came to mind were the King of all glory, Lord over all, worthy is the name, our God reigns over all. And these things, these few sentences were the first thing that came to mind when I set about writing the song, and that ended up forming the chorus parts. So in the verses, I began writing about specific things, like facing a war. Maybe you're in the midst of a battle of some kind and somehow you find peace in the Lord right there where you are. And maybe you're in a massive or hugely desperate season or situation, yet you find God somehow pulling you through that season. Maybe you're in a dark time, maybe you're finding that life is simply difficult and hard, and yet somehow you realise that He's still the light that shines extremely bright in the darkness, and He's ever present, and there is no darkness that shines brighter than the light of the Lord. Maybe you found that. Maybe you're empty, yet still you find the strength to choose joy regardless of what that brokenness looks like in your life. And I know how hard it is to choose to surrender and to choose that joy and happiness, especially when that's the furthest thing from your mind, and especially when you just would rather submit to the enemy because it's easier. Or maybe you felt a sense of loss or hopelessness, yet somehow you find that God still has the ability to restore that part of your life. It's about identifying your weakness and submitting that to God, and He turns that weakness into a strength. Maybe you've been searching for a safe place or a quiet place or a safe refuge, or maybe something's really painful for you right now, and somehow you work out and you realise that He's touched your life and He still is redeeming, and He's still the reason that you choose to reach out and sing to God and worship Him. Regardless of where you sit with God and what faith looks like in your life right now, maybe it's strong, maybe it's weak, or potentially it's somewhere in the middle. I'm here to tell you that through this song, He still reigns. He still reigns over all, and He still does miracles. He still cares. He loves you. He keeps all of His promises that He established in your life, and His will and His purposes are for you and never against you. And I've come to learn that during my life, my preferences aren't always the same, and they don't always line up with His priorities. His ways are always grander than my ways, and they're always higher. And I've learnt that choosing His ways when I feel otherwise really takes faith. Faith is hard, and it requires me to be courageous and bold, to take a stand, to submitting to an uncomfortable season a lot of times. And faith involves trusting in a God that sometimes appears illogical and unreasonable. I just want you to know that I've been there, and I pray for courage in your heart to choose Him, to choose a life of faith, to understand, to step out and be brave and trust in a God who I know keeps his promises, and he loves you so much that he wouldn't give up on you now to let you go. And so if you're in a season of desperation, all those things that I've mentioned, just want you to know that he does reign in your life, even though it might not seem like it. He is for you, he is not against you. Yeah, the song is just about realising that God reigns over all seasons, over all situations, and yeah, I hope you like the song, and I pray it touches your spirit and encourages you and strengthens you.